Hello YouTube, this is Daniel back with you. I'm out here in the shop again today. Kind of cool, really chilly out. Going through a cold storm here in Texas. It's going to be a pretty tough next couple of days. Ice, snow, and stuff like that. It makes me wish I probably would have put heat in the shop here, but I didn't because one, it usually don't last you that long. And so we have one of those 1 in 5 years or 1 in 10 year storms. So we're dealing with that. But what happened is as you know in the previous videos, I started welding, so trying to learn how to fix my own stuff. Well, I put a piece on here and tested, hit it with a hammer, and it broke my vise. Well, I didn't know that it was cast iron, and I tried to weld it with one of my regular rods that's not designed for cast iron. And it really didn't do a good job. It kind of ruined it. And but it always was a problem because when I first bought this 4.5-inch vise, I bought it from an estate sale about a couple of years ago, and which was fine for what I just do when I do woodwork or loading a grease gun, just stuff like that, just to hold it to cut something. But welding and then taking a hammer and trying to test your welds just to make sure they'll hold, kind of broke it again. And so what I'm gonna do now. I went online. This is a Forward brand. Had very good reviews on it. It's a 5-inch bench grinder. So what I'm going to do today is mount this bench grinder. I like everything on the same table. But I'm going to see if it'll fit here. If it don't fit here good, then I may make a separate stand. But it's just easier for me to have the bench grinder over there and then have the vise here. And it just one unit deal is great. And so the other thing that I'm going to put on this table eventually is a plasma cutter section that'll fold down. But today we're just going to deal with the vise. Get that done, then we'll move on to something else. Okay? So here we go. We're going to install this Forward 5-inch bench vise. And one of the things I like about it, it's supposed to be forged metal instead of cast iron. So we'll see how it works out. All right. Okay. That's what a problem was right there. So other than that, pretty good vise. And packed really well. Finally got the unit out the box. We're going to test it for some mounting. It's got 4 holes in it. One thing I did not realize, I read it in the reviews, but I did not realize that the bolt holes are bigger. The old vise had 3/8 bolts in it. This is going to have 1/2-inch bolts. So they fit kind of loose in the vise. So I'm probably going to have to get some 1/2-inch bolts. I have some, but they're too long, because we're using to build a bridge. Good thing about this vise, you see, I love it because it's swivel. The top part swivel, and then the base swivels. So that makes it really good. So I'm going to line it up here in a minute and see how the bolt holes is going to fit. I'm sure I'm going to have to drill some new holes. But that's really good, the way it swivels
You can put stuff in it upside down. It has clamps on the top and clamps on the bottom, and it also has a pipe. So yeah, you see how it swivels. That is really nice. Especially if you're welding some pipe, you can turn it upside down and stuff like that. So just pointing out some of the points and the angles that you can use for putting pieces of material on it. And thumbs up because I really do like it. But then we're going to try to get to the edge of the bench. One of the rules of thumb is to try to get the inside lip of the vise right to the edge. That way if you have any material that has to hang vertical, it'll clear the edge of the bench. And then there you go, to showing there how it's threaded. It's got a big old thread, probably a 5/8 diameter thread through it. And then you have an hammer there, the anvil, where you can hit it with a hammer. So that's a good size anvil included in the vise. So overall, pretty happy with it. We'll try to get it mounted, see what happens.
Okay, had to run down to the hardware store around the Lowe's, and I had to get some of these lag bolts here, because on the end here is a 2x4, and so I have to find a way to mount that. So I figured I'd get this. I actually got too long. I meant to get 2-inch, and I ended up getting 2.5. So hopefully that'll go through. Won't cause me any problem. But we're going to put 2.5 on the back there. I'll probably drill these first, tighten those down, and then do this. That's the great thing about this, being able to swivel this way and the other way. But so I'm going to drill a hose, a 1/2-inch hose. On the lag bolts, I'll probably drill a 3/8, go down about maybe 1/8 of an inch on a 3/8, and then run it down with the impact and see what happened on that, on these two. Okay. We'll put the bolts in it and go from there. See what happens. Hopefully it works out. What I'm going to do now is grease this thing up. Worked out pretty good. I was only able to put 3 mining holes in it, which is fine. I drilled another hole, but I had a 2x4 going this way, and I will have to go back and try to ream it out later. I couldn't get the bolt through, but I can ream it out from the bottom later on if I wanted to. But it works good. What I'm going to do now is grease it. I have Yeah, it's got plenty. It's got enough to finish this. It's got that tacky number 2. That's what I use to grease the tractor and the side-by-side. And I just use one kind on everything. And we'll just periodically come back and grease that up. So, alright, got one project done today. And though, like I said, it's kind of cold here. Got a heater here and a heater down on the floor there. So that kind of helps out a whole lot. If you like these kind of videos, just hit that like, subscribe button, and then hit the little bell, and you'll be automatically notified. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll get back in touch with you on the next one, okay?